I'm going to do a diversion from my typical cycling videos and do a tech review. So this is for my subscribers who may be into videography, or if you're searching YouTube for a decently priced wireless microphone, this video should be helpful. So I've been looking at wireless microphones for a couple years, but they're so expensive. Most of the ones that I've seen are over $1,000. So I've been using this corded lavalier mic that when I'm trying to do mechanic stuff in the garage or other things where I got to move around a lot, it just gets in the way. I've put up with it for a couple years, but I'm happy to report that I found a wireless microphone system that works really well. The build quality is professional grade. The price point is excellent. This is on B&H Photo for about $389, and I'll show it to you up close. This will not be an unboxing video. I'll show the case and kind of how it's packed and all that, but I'm not going to unpack everything out of the box. I want to kind of review it and just talk about the features. So the microphone system that I'm talking about is the Comica WM200a. Get that in focus there so you can see it. So this is the box that it comes in. And with this system, you get 2 transmitters and 1 receiver. So not only is it a really good wireless mic system, but you get 2 transmitters. So if you're doing interviews or you want 2 people talking, you've got that option, which is really nice. So let's take a look at this up close, and I want to show you the features of it. So you do get a really sturdy case with this microphone system. So this is it. It's got 2 heavy-duty latches on the side, and then this is how it comes. So it's got some really good foam, the receiver and 2 transmitters. So this is the receiver. So on the receiver, you do have a cold shoe mount, so you can mount this in the cold shoe or hot shoe of your video camera. And by the way, this is one of the reasons that I went with a Canon camera. I just got a new Canon EOS R, which is what I'm filming with. And I decided not to get the Sony because I was looking at the Sony a6600. When you flip the screen up, the hot shoe mount is right there, and so this would have not fit. Now, yes, you can get a bracket and put it out to the side. I just didn't want to go through all that. So again, this is the receiver, and then these are the 2 transmitters. And they have belt clips. I've already installed the belt clip. When you get this, you just have to snap them in. Really easy to do. The battery compartments are on the side. Most of the time I use rechargeable batteries, and this one I have some Duracells. Those are my rechargeable batteries. So really easy to get the batteries in and out. And if you get one of these, I would recommend getting some rechargeable AA batteries. This is your compartment for your cords. So you get 2 lavalier mics that connect to the transmitters. And the cord's actually a really nice length. It's just long enough to go on your belt and not be too long. So I hate having extra long cords. It just plugs in here. You can tighten that down to make sure it doesn't come out. And like I said, of course, you get 2 lavalier mics. You also get an XLR cable, just in case you want to use an XLR mic with this. And you get a couple dead cats. If you're out in a really windy environment, you can use those as a wind filter on your lavalier mics. And this is the cable that hooks it up to your camera. So all you would do is take the transmitter or the receiver, and then it's got 2 jacks here. One is your output, so this is where you would send it out to the camera. What's really nice about this is it also has a headphone monitoring jack. So if your camera did not have a headphone monitoring jack, you do have one on this. So that's kind of a nice extra feature. And like I said earlier, the build quality of these is excellent. This is a really sturdy, durable metal. It's not plastic. So on the side of the receiver, you've got channel A, channel AB, and channel B. So if you're just using one of the transmitters, you would put it on A or B. And then if you're using both, you would put it right in the middle. So that's how you're going to select which transmitter you want to use. And looking at the transmitter by itself, so this one I have designated as A, so I just move that up to A, and then of course the other one I have set to B. So let's power this on, and I want to show you some of the features of this. So what you do is you just hold down this button for about 2 seconds, it'll power on. It also has a really nice screen, so I'm going to zoom in so you can see the screen. There is a backlight, so every time you push a button, the backlight will come on. I'm not going to go through every single setting on here, but I want to show you the major ones. First of all, there is a battery indicator, so you can look at the status of your battery. And then if you want to go through the different modes, so you can set the channel. This has 96 channels. So I have one set to like channel 7, I think it is, and the other one to channel 3. So That's really nice in case you get some interference. But if I want to change something, so I would hold the set button down for about 2 seconds, and then like I could change the channel if I wanted to with these arrows. So that's, you know, I got it set where I want it. So I hit set button again, that will lock it in. And then if I want to just kind of scroll through some of the other settings, I would just hit these buttons on the side. And again, let's just look at, so you got a low cut filter, so you can turn that on or off. I typically leave that off. I'm not in a real noisy environment. It's better audio with the low cut filter off, so I leave that off. Again, if I wanted to turn that on, I would just hold down the set button for a couple seconds, and then I could use the arrows to turn the low cut filter on or off. RF power, high or low. I typically leave that on high. And then muting enabled. So you can mute the microphone just by touching the power button, and you can see that light goes red, and that means that the mic is muted. Touch it again and it's unmuted. And by the way, these lights on the transmitters will tell you if they're on and working. And then looking at the receiver, with that powered on, that will tell you which microphone is working. Because I have this set to A and B, it's blinking to tell me that one of the microphone transmitters is not on. The A is on, the B is not. If I just switch this to A, that will go red, letting me know I'm not using B at this moment. So the green light for A is on. So that's kind of a nice feature to make sure that both microphones are working the way you want them to. A couple more things I'll talk about on the transmitter. You can designate how long you want the backlight on, so I've got it set at 15 seconds, which was default. And then language. Not too complicated. Looking back at the receiver, you need to set the same channel that you have on the transmitter. So of course, like I said, one of them is channel 7, so I got to make sure on the receiver that it's set to channel 7. And then on the next setting is your volume. So I've got it set to 7, so that's the volume that's going to go out to your camera. And it was pretty bright when I first got it, so I had to tone it down a little bit. And like I said, I have it set to a volume of 7, and that seems to work okay for my camera. Again, on the receiver, you have a backlight setting as far as how long you want that to be on. Also on the receiver, you have an auto scan. So I set the channels manually, but I think you can scan and it will find which channel your transmitters are on. And then it also has up here at the top on the receiver, it says the signal. So since these are right next to each other, I've got full signal on this. Now what I want to do is give you an idea of what the audio quality is like. So I'm still tethered to this Audio-Technica wired mic that has served me well over the years, but it has just gotten in the way. I am really enjoying the freedom of being able to be completely wireless with my audio. So let's switch over now to the Comica system. And now I'm recording with the Comica wireless microphone. I think the audio is really good. The range is also good too. I did a test today where I walked pretty far away from the camera, and it says you can go 400 feet. I found that to be pretty accurate. Here's a real short clip of me walking away from the camera and testing the microphone. This is further than I would ever possibly need to go with this microphone. So I can say it's probably going to cover my needs pretty well. So I've got the receiver in the hot shoe of the camera. So I'm going to take a picture of it just so you can see it. There we go. So I'm really happy with the system. The only issue that I've had is sometimes the audio cuts out if you don't have the cable that goes into the receiver on top of the camera. If it's not in there really good, then the audio will cut out. So you just got to make sure that's in. You turn the little fastener on top to make sure it's in there all the way. Like I said, I love the case. I love the build quality of this thing. I really like the price. So less than $400, you can have a system that has 2 transmitters. So it's really nice. I would recommend it to those of you out there who are looking for a wireless system. You want somewhat professional grade quality, but you don't want to pay over $1,000 US. I may do a follow-up video later on down the road, year or two later, to let you know if it's still holding up, because of course that's the big question. If you pay less money, do you get less longevity, less quality? So far the quality seems good. Longevity, we'll see as we get into this. All right, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching.